Greetings, peace, love, and wellness, my friends. Welcome back to my channel. I am Samari of Ready to Enlighten, and today we are officially on day 16 of my 30 days, 30 minutes a day yoga challenge. I want to say welcome to all my new subscribers. Thank you for joining in on this challenge. And so let's continue on. Grab your mat and let's get started. We'll start off today standing pose, my favorite Tadasana, which is mountain pose. Here we'll have our feet planted to the mat, arms out to the side, fingers spread wide, shoulders back. And here we'll take a moment and take some deep clearing breaths, allowing the inhales to fully fill up our stomach and exhale. We'll do that again. We'll take a deep inhale and exhale. One more deep inhale and exhale. Now we'll just allow ourselves to get more grounded in the present moment, present in our body, present in our awareness. If you want to take a moment and set an intention here, whatever intention you want to come out of this practice, however you want to feel from this practice today, just take a moment and see it in our mind's eye, which is at the front of our forehead, just above the brow bone. Just visualize this intention. Once we have set this intention, take a moment and let it go, knowing that that intention will be accomplished, will be achieved. Then we'll open our eyes. And here, we'll slowly begin to rotate our neck from side to side. So you can bring your head to the right side and slowly begin to roll it over to that left side. And if you want to go all the way back, feel free to do that. Just taking a moment to loosen ourselves up. And we're intentionally breathing with every roll, allowing ourselves to be loose and no control. And let's go the opposite direction. Just tuning in to what feels good. With each roll, relaxing that shoulders. Then let's bring our head to center. Gently begin to roll our shoulders back. Again, tuning into our body with each roll. Then we'll roll our shoulders forward. Then we'll release the rolling. Then extend our arms out wide, expanding, and then closing them, contracting, and opening up, expanding, and contracting. Breathing in with each opening, exhaling with each close. Really tuning into our shoulders and back, opening the heart and expanding the lungs. And let's go diagonal. Opening the shoulders and chest even more. Allowing ourselves to be free and open. Opening up the solar plexus. And then let's release our hands. And then just take our hands and bend at the elbow and just open and close the fist. Bring in circulation into the fingers. Then if you have like maybe arthritis or typing on a computer too long, sometimes we have to flex these muscles in our fingers, wiggle them a little bit. Just breathe in intensely as you wiggle them. Then we'll rotate our wrists. And go up the opposite direction. Then we'll release that. Then we'll gently take our step to the right and extend his right hand up in the air. We'll gently stretch open and tilt over to this left side. Breathing and release. Bringing that right leg back. Then extending up on that left side and bringing that left hand up. Stretching over. Breathing and releasing that left hand. We'll get the opposite side, bringing that right leg out, extending that right hand to the air, reaching and release. And that left leg, breathing in, extending and release. Then we're going to keep our legs planted. Slowly bring our hands to our hip. Gently roll those hips out. Tune into our body. Loosen our whole self up. Activating the hips. If you want to spread a little bit more, make your hip circles bigger. Taking this moment to really tune into ourselves. Let's go the opposite direction. Breathe. We roll our hips. Go as slow or fast as you want. This is your time. This is your body to be liberated. Intentionally breathing with each roll, and we'll release that. Let's get the knees so we'll slightly bend. Take a hold of our knees and rotate those knee joints around. Breathe, rolling them out. Inhaling and exhaling with each roll. Then we'll go the opposite way. Taking the time to get to know our body. And how does it feel with each movement in each area of our body? Breathe into them. And we'll release that. Coming back up. We'll keep this right leg planted. And gently begin to lift up this left leg and point it forward so we can rotate that ankle. Feel free to hold on to a wall or something or focus on the drisi in front of you that's not moving. And just breathe as you rotate the ankle clockwise and counterclockwise. Just want to tune into all the joints, flex that foot, do what feels good, and release. Then we'll get the opposite side, then that right leg, and go ahead and rotate that ankle. Breathe in, flexing the feet, toes. Just do what feels good to you. And when you're ready, we'll release that to the floor. Now we'll extend our hands up into the air, reaching through the fingertips. Exhale, fold down towards the mat. Allowing the fingertips to touch the mat and breathe here. Inhaling, exhaling, allowing the head to hang heavy. Keeping the feet planted and grounded to the mat. If the palm of your hands reach the mat, that is perfect. If not, you're just on your fingertips, that's perfect. Wherever you're at, just breathe. Allow your body to be. This is an inversion, so the heart is lifted above the head. We're releasing an overthinking mind. And if this is enough for you, just breathe here. If you want to take this deeper, go ahead and slip the palms of your hand under the feet and breathe, allowing yourself to fold even more onto yourself. Allowing yourself to hang even more heavier, stretching in the arms. We'll breathe here for 3 more breaths. And on your next exhale, we'll bring our hands to our hips. In this pose, we're going to slowly lift our head. Don't come up too fast where you feel like you got a lightheadedness. So we will slowly, on the inhales only, rise up. And on the exhales, we'll pause. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And slowly roll our shoulders back. And let's come to the top of the mat. Here, we'll step this right leg back, pointed outside towards the front of the mat, keeping this left leg straight. We'll extend our hands out to the side, pulling the energy from side to side, breathing here, strong in our body. Then we'll shift our upper torso only towards the front of the mat. Then we'll tip over, hinging from the hip, allowing this left hand to reach the ground and extending this right hand up. And if you want, you can gaze at that right hand, breathing, opening up the chest. Fully connected to our body, strong in our stance. And if this is enough for you, feel free to stay and breathe here. But if you want to take it deeper, extend the left hand up and just have both hands at the side, like if you're holding an imaginary ball. Just breathe. And when you're ready, we'll come all the way up to center. Both hands extended, bringing this right leg up. And then we'll extend that back leg back to get the opposite side. Left leg back, turns it towards the side of the mat. The right leg pointed forward. Again, we'll extend both hands out, standing straight up, strong in our body, chest lifted, shoulders back. And here we'll go ahead and shift the upper torso to the front of the mat. Then we'll hands from the hip, allowing this right hand down to reach the mat and this left hand up into the air. This is triangle pose. Breathe. Allowing our body to be fully engaged. And again, if you want to stay here and breathe, feel free. But if you want to take it deeper, go ahead and lift up that right hand as if you're holding an imaginary ball. And then we'll extend ourselves all the way up both arms reaching in the sky, and step that left foot up. And walk that out. Then we'll extend this right leg back again, but this time we'll come onto our knees on that right side, keeping that left foot planted to the mat. Here we'll extend our hands up into the air again, reaching through the fingertips. Then we'll slowly tip ourselves back for a back bend crescent lunge. And then we'll bring ourselves back to center and slowly begin to bend at the elbows, bringing our hands down to the head space, just opening up the chest, opening up the back, squeezing the back, breathing here, activating that solar plexus, opening up the heart chakra. Then we'll release our hands and bring this right hand to that left knee, and then extend this left hand back, twisting open. And then we'll bring this left hand back to that left knee. We'll see if we can create a bend in that back right foot and bring it up towards us. And grab a hold of this right foot and just breathe here. Connecting to our hamstrings. Again, keeping our chest lifted, expanding. Two more breaths. And we'll release that right leg and slowly lift up this right heel, pointing the toes up into a half split. And if you want to, you can walk your hands down on the mat and just breathe here, extending that leg out. Now we'll bring both hands on the inside of this left leg and go ahead and bring this left leg behind us. So you're on your knees on that left side. Then extend this right foot planted to the mat so we can get the opposite side. We'll extend our hands up into the air, reaching through the fingertips, heart lifted, shoulders back. And then exhale, we'll bend back, turn into that crescent back bend. Then we'll come back up and then begin to bend at the elbows, opening the chest even more, expanding, squeezing in the shoulders and back. Then we'll bring this left hand to this right knee and extend this right hand back, twisting open. Allowing ourselves to be free here. And we'll bring this right hand back to this right knee. Then go ahead and bend on that left knee. And bring that left foot up towards us and grab a hold of it. Just squeeze on that hamstring. Just breathe. And when you're ready, we'll release that left foot and extend this right leg straight, coming up on the heel. And go ahead and walk our hands down towards that right leg and half splits. Then we'll bring our right hand on inside of that right leg and bring that right leg back. Then we'll walk ourselves back, pushing our back of our body towards our feet, allowing the chest to lay onto the legs and extend our hands out straight into a child's pose, allowing the head to rest onto the mat. Here we can surrender. Then we'll lift ourselves back up and then bring this right knee towards in between our hands and extend his back leg back. Kind of open up that leg on the left side and allow yourself to walk back, sitting up into pigeon pose. Breathing here, chest lifted, shoulders back. We'll open up the hips even more. Then we'll bring our hands, walking them forward to allow our head to rest onto the mat. Then we'll plant both hands to the mat again, lifting ourselves up, bringing that left leg back behind us. And this time we'll bring that right knee in between our arms and extend this left leg back and walk ourselves back, sitting up. Breathing. Then we'll walk our hands forward and release our head to the mat again. Then we'll walk our hands, plant them back onto the mat and extending this right knee back. And here we'll walk our hands back again into that child's pose with the feet together to touch, knees together, bringing the chest to the legs and extending our hands out, resting the head to the mat. Then we'll come back up again and release our whole front of our body to the mat. Bringing the hands near the head space, but just releasing our hands here, releasing our head here. Breathing here. And then slowly pull ourselves up our chest and head off the mat into small cobra, keeping the legs and thighs, hips all on pressed against the mat. We'll just lift the back and shoulders. And release it. Then we'll come up, lift our head and back off the floor into a Sphinx pose, still on our forearms, just lifting the chest, keeping the pelvis and hips to the floor. Just breathe here. And release our head back to the mat. Then we'll bring our hands to the shoulders, keeping them planted to the mat. We'll inhale, lifting up even higher into Cobra pose. We're keeping the feet and legs on the floor, lifting the pelvis off the mat. Breathing here, chest lifted. And when you're ready, we'll release ourselves back to the floor. We're gonna lift our arms and legs off the mat as if we're flying like Superman. But we'll be pressing our pelvis into the mat to lift up. And as we stretch in both directions, so we inhale, lift up. Exhale, release. We'll do that one more time. We'll inhale, lift up. Exhale, release. Now we're going to bend on our knees, bend them behind us towards the back of the body, and see if we can grab a hold of them. If you can't, just reach back as if you're holding them. And if you want to use some strap or something to give you grip to be able to grab them. But if you can't, just keep them bent and just reach back like this. Wherever you're at, you're perfect. And we'll breathe here for 3 breaths. And if you want to take this pose deeper, we'll lift the chest off the mat and extend our legs up and breathe. When you're ready, inhale, lift up. Exhale, release. Let's release our arms and shoulders to the mat. Have our palms facing up. Breathe here. Then we'll bring our arms planted to the mat where our shoulders at again and lift up into that cobra pose one more time. And gently shift our hips up, feet spread wide, feet together. And go ahead and push yourself back to the back of the body into that child's pose. Then we'll come back onto our knees. Take this left hand and thread it through the loop of that right hand. And go ahead and drop onto that left shoulder. Keeping the hips into the. You want to extend his hand out or bring it behind us. Wrapping around your back. Then we'll bring this right hand, plant it back to the mat, lifting up, and get the opposite side, bringing that right hand, threading it through the left hand, dropping onto that shoulder. If you want to wrap this left hand back around you, then we'll bring this left hand back down to the mat, pressing ourselves up and coming into a seated position. Here we will hug our knees to ourselves and extend our hands up into the air. Hands in front of the hip will fall forward towards our toes, grabbing a hold of them if you can. Grabbing a hold of your shins if you can, wherever you're at. And release. Then we'll come onto the back of our body. Again, hugging our knees to our chest, rocking. Then we'll release our legs out forward and come into Savasana, conscious resting. Here we will breathe and allow and surrender. Consciously rest, consciously breathe, consciously allow. All the energy that we just work through the body to integrate. Feel free to stay here as long as you want. But if you're ready to come out, begin to bring your awareness back into your body. Begin to feel the wiggling in your fingers, wiggling your toes, rolling your wrists around in circles and your ankle. Then bringing the knees to the chest, hugging them to yourself, rocking around. Then rock yourself up into a comfortable seated position. And at this time, I would like to bow to you and thank you for clicking on this video and sharing your practice with me today. And if you like this video, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, share with a friend, tell them to join in. We still got, 13 more days to go? Until next time, peace, love, and wellness.